Done. Sweet. Okay, well, hello everyone, hopping on to the chat. Benjamin Yurkovich here with Washington Weather Chasers. Currently looking at visible satellite imagery as the sun sets over Washington State. Over here we see the Bear Gulch fire, and here's the Wildcat-Labor Mountain fire, the Lower Sugarloaf fire, and a couple fires up in northeast Washington as well. Don't have the names of those ones memorized. But the fire that's burning the hottest, seemingly, tonight is the Lower Sugarloaf fire just to the north of Wenatchee. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the wind direction that fire is currently burning. Right now, if we look at the data on Watch Duty, super helpful website and app if you don't have it. We can see that there's 3 primary hotspots on the Lower Sugarloaf fire. There's one up on the northwest side of the fire, the north side of the fire, and the southeast side of the fire. And with the wind data on right now, we can see that right where the fire is, the wind is it's blowing to the southeast. It's not super strong wind, as I'll show you in just a moment, but it's burning to the southeast at about 6 miles per hour, gusting maybe higher to 12 to 15. But then as we come over here, it's going a bit more southerly. So I'm hopeful that the fire is not going to get blown down into the Entiat River Valley. But it's starting to get kind of perilously close. Like if we look at this measurement tool right here in the bottom right hand corner, I'm going to make sure and see if that is showing or not. There we go. Now it should be showing. So down here in the right hand corner is a bit of a measurement tool. That says 3,000 feet right there, right? So 3,000, it's about 6,000 feet away, if this heat signature is correct, from the little community of Ferris. So it's kind of getting too close for comfort, in my opinion, to those communities there. And if we are to look at information for the Sugarloaf fire, we can take a look at the evacuation notices. And right now, they do have a level 2 get set evacuation for that whole entire road. So they're prepared for it. They're prepared to tell people to leave, and people are on notice. But it's not been upgraded just yet to a level 3, and hopefully they don't need to upgrade it to a level 3 evacuation. Before I go any further, I am just going to go ahead and make sure the audio for this is good. Let me know in the comments if the audio for this is good. It's nice to see a few people hopping on. I'm going to make one more post on a new channel that I made on my Facebook page. Another method for communicating. There we go. All right. And looking at your comments, no comments on the audio. I'm just going to assume it's better and continue to move on. So yeah, that fire is burning pretty hot, Lower Sugarloaf, and I'm a little bit concerned because if we look at the wind direction for that specific area, and to kind of help you guys identify where I'm looking here. So probably the best identifier on the map for where this fire is when looking at weather data is this big curve in the Columbia River. It's also right on a county boundary. So we're going to be looking at that big curve and basically just to the west of the bottom of the curve. So when looking at the map, right here is that big curve, and then just to the west of that big curve, we can see for at about 8 p.m., which is in a half an hour, the wind direction is going to be coming from the west and then moving south. And the Entiat River Valley goes right up in here. And then by about 9 p.m., it seems like the winds might strengthen just a hair, being sustained to about 12 miles per hour or so, and a bit more out of the west towards the southwest. And the gusts for that time frame, not too terribly strong, but anywhere from 12 to 18 miles per hour. And it's not very humid out there. It's pretty dry at the moment. And I can show you that, guys, on this product over here. Hop over to the HRRR on here, update to one of the more recent runs, go to the relative humidity, skip forward to, let's say, just right now, 7 p.m. So there's that bend in the Columbia River right there, and we can see the humidity levels out there is only around 30%. As we go through the night, it stays pretty dry. It doesn't really get out of the 30s. And then as we head into tomorrow, it drops down into the 20 percentile range. And then again tomorrow night, it doesn't, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that on Saturday. There's a pretty strong surge of westerly wind as the cold front, as a system rather, begins to move in kind of. Let's take a look at what's going on right here. Zoom out just a bit. Okay, so the system is approaching. There's no rain just yet, but the cascade cross gradient increases with lower pressure in eastern Washington. It's kind of like a bit of a lee low almost. Yeah, I would, if you live out there by Entiat, I would keep an eye on the forecast on Saturday, because that's a pretty reasonable surge of westerly wind that this is showing, and really dry conditions. Like, it's looking hot. Yeah, I'm not liking the way that's looking. So it's not like the strongest winds, but it is still like 10 to 15 mile per hour sustained, with gusts a little higher out there. So that could pose an issue, and that could potentially push the fire closer towards these little communities on Highway 19. I would say the areas of most concern at the moment is Ferris and possibly the little community of Entiat down here. And again, just by way of reminder, already showed this, but there is a level 2 evacuation notice out there. All right. Some of you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about this fire, so I'll go ahead and move on to something else. I see a couple more people have hopped on. Hello, Tegan. Hello, Western Washington Weather. Nice to see you. Hi, Nip Cow Desk. Yeah, I'm really sorry about the audio on the previous stream. That was so weird. I do not know what that was all about. If you guys are wondering, for those of you that hopped over from Facebook, why I am on YouTube, I'm just finding that YouTube is going to be a better platform for video content, which is a lot of what I do, live streaming. It's also has a bit better of a monetization program for videos and whatnot. So I just want to get the YouTube going. I'll keep the Facebook page going as well. Hello, Lori from Mill Creek. It's good to see you. But I've got to get quite a few watch hours before I get there, so I want to make sure and get those watch hours going before we hop into snow chasing season, if you know what I mean. I'm going to turn the bit rate up here since it seems like the quality is a little bit low. Let me know if the quality gets better. Okay. So, looking at the European model data here, we do have some rain coming in over the weekend, thankfully. There's not going to be a whole lot of rain for areas like the Sugarloaf Fire and whatnot, places in eastern Washington, but west of the Cascades, there is going to be some beneficial rain. And we can see that indicated here by the lower than normal height anomaly. That's going to be swooping towards the area on Sunday. And then after Sunday, unfortunately, things kind of seem like they're going to dry out next week. But there is still the chance of some rain, maybe towards the end of the week, but there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding that. Looking at the system on the weekend, it appears at the moment that it's going to start raining on the northwest Washington coast sometime on Saturday evening, and then it'll rain through Sunday night through Sunday morning, with the cold front moving through the I-5 corridor, Everett, Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, and the southwest Washington coast by about 5 a.m. And then there'll be some conversion zone activity in the wake of that cold front, some showers, and then we clear out. And looking at rain totals for that system, it gives a decent amount of rain for areas on the coast and in the I-5 corridor, the Puget Sound region. So for the coast, it actually gives quite a bit of rain. I'm going to look at the 18Z model run actually for this. For the coast, anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to an inch. The Olympics get more. Out there by the Bear Gulch fire, this European model run wants to give about a 1/2 inch of rain. And then up and down the I-5 corridor, it gives a pretty decent amount of rain for places like Olympia, Tacoma, Seattle, Everett, all around 0.7 inches. Higher amounts in the Central Cascades. And maybe close to an inch up there in parts of Whatcom County, and we have rain shadowing going on near Port Angeles, Sequim, Port Townsend, Whidbey Island, San Juans. Cascades get some decent rain, but that's the Sugarloaf right there. It doesn't even want to give it a 10th, so that's unfortunate for the Sugarloaf. And then out where the Wildcat is, there's not going to be enough rain that falls in that by the looks of it to really put an end to that, and there's definitely not going to be enough rain to put much of a dent in the fires in northeast Washington. But the Bear Gulch fire, this could be some beneficial rain for that for sure. And I could talk about going into the next week a little more, but there's just too much uncertainty following that. So, all right. Hello, Jerome Iverson. Says, my daughter has a softball game Sunday at 10 a.m. in Anacortes. Will it be raining? It will probably end up being showery if I had to make a guess. Let's take a look at this. The bulk of the cold front is going to be through, and the convergence zone activity is going to be further south, down by Snohomish County and King County. So up there in Skagit County, it could be okay. It might not be raining. There might be some residual showers around, but it will be a little bit cooler. Not that that really matters. That's probably better temperatures for a softball game anyway, when it's down in the 60s. By the way, if you're watching right now and you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure and subscribe to the channel. And liking this stream would definitely help me out as well in terms of getting the algorithm on YouTube going. I'm trying to wake up this channel from the dead, basically. I've been kind of dormant on this YouTube channel for the last 2 years. Yeah, full disclosure, this channel got demonetized because I was uploading my videos here, and they were also getting uploaded to my broker's website, Livestorm Media, and YouTube saw that and thought that I was uploading duplicates when really I wasn't. And the notice for that came through in the summer when I wasn't being very active because I was in the middle of building a house. And what ended up happening was they demonetized the channel, and they gave me a couple months to appeal, but I did not even see it in time to appeal for the channel to get stay monetized. And so that kind of took my motivation away to use YouTube all that much. But now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to delete all the old videos off of YouTube. So if you're wondering why why all the YouTube videos that I had on there are not there anymore, it's just because I didn't want to deal with the whole process of trying to argue with YouTube. Just want to start over, upload new content, do more of these forecast type updates. And then when it comes time to start live streaming snow and windstorms and things like that, hopefully the channel will be back to being monetized again as well. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and work hard at the YouTube. Hopefully it works out. All right, nice to see a bunch of people hopping on. Yeah, and also something else that would help out this is if you just want to let people know that we're starting to do more stuff here on the YouTube channel. Going to be looking at different data. I've got some video ideas. Like I want to do a video on how fall leaf colors happen, like autumn colors, what kind of weather conditions can assist in better colors and what kind of weather conditions can basically not help towards that kind of thing. Talk about what the snow season might end up being like in the Cascade Mountains this winter, stuff like that. So if you have any video suggestions or things you would like to see, make sure and let me know in the comments. Hello, Anne Murray. Yeah, so Anne, you are probably going to get some rain this weekend over there in Camino. Maybe not a ton, but you will get some. Looking at the European here, total precipitation. You'll be on the edge of the rain shadow by the looks of it, but could still get over a 1/4 inch of rain. Looking at the EPS, which is the ensemble data. Okay, that's a 6 hour. I was like, what is wrong with this? Yeah, I would say getting over a 1/4 inch of rain in Camino Island is a good bet for this weekend. So that's good. Yeah, Kristen and Justin, I've heard that feedback from a lot of people regarding YouTube, and I personally like that too about YouTube, how you can just kind of put it in the background, and also how you can make the video go up in the corner, and you can do other things. Facebook doesn't really have that feature. So I think in the long run, this is going to be better for my snow chases and all those kind of things. But it's just going to take some work to get it going. But I also definitely care about keeping the Facebook page going. So I'm going to be posting a lot of updates over there. I'll still post videos over there as well. But just going to be getting the YouTube going. Okay, folks. Me says, what about Longview, Kelso? Any chance of rain? Good question. So, down there by Longview and Kelso, yes. Maybe up towards a 1/2 inch of rain is what the ensemble is calling for. The main run of the European model has Longview right on the edge of higher precipitation amounts, but those are the higher foothills. But down there by Longview, you might have a little bit of rain shadowing going on from the coastal range. I would say around a 1/4 inch of rain is a good bet. Out there on the coast, though, like look at that in Westport, get over an inch of rain. That would be real nice. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything that you think could improve about this video. I want to be super open to any sort of constructive criticism so that I can put out the best possible product that I can for you guys. I do want to improve the lighting and maybe the background, and let me know if the audio sounds good enough for you guys. And again, feel free to leave a comment for what kind of content that you would like to see on this channel, because ultimately I think that's what matters most, is that if I'm going to do this YouTube channel, that I'm putting out content that you guys actually want to watch. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to say that. Before I click off, one more time, if you didn't see this earlier, Sugarloaf is up over 20,000 acres now. And the Bear Gulch, if we were to look over at the Bear Gulch, is up to 18,700 acres, which that's a lot of growth happened over the last couple days. It basically ran up this whole entire valley here, up the sides of these slopes, and is now running into Mount Steele, which is really a huge bummer. It looks like a beautiful area. Oh man. Yeah, like if we were to look up Mount Duckbush, it looks like this is the area that burned right here. That just makes me sad. I mean, it's good for certain areas to burn every now and then, you know, like, but it is just a bummer. So yeah, that's the kind of areas that's been burning up there in the Bear Gulch fire. All right, folks, I am going to go ahead and spend the rest of the evening with my family now. But thanks for joining on. Thanks for the feedback. And I will talk to you guys later.